You feel the air leave your chest. Their arms heavy, their hips close, every inch of space closing fast. Your breath is tight. Your ribs ache against the floor, and for a moment, it feels like the difference in size is too much to fight. The sound of the mat is sharp in your ear. The floor shakes with their weight. Even the smallest shift from them feels like an avalanche pressing down. But there is a way. Smaller grapplers have always learned to survive, and more than survive, to overcome. This is not about strength. It is about clarity. It is about position. It is about timing. Here you will learn how to handle that first storm, how to keep distance when it matters most, how to turn their size against them, and how to finish on your terms. Before we begin, I would like to know, what belt are you, how long have you been training, and where are you from? It is always inspiring to see the different journeys people take, and how this art connects so many kinds of athletes from different places and backgrounds. Now take a breath, clear the noise, let's learn something new, and get better together. When you face someone bigger, your first opponent is not them. It is time. The first surge always feels overwhelming. They crash forward, heavy on the grips, confident they can fold you under pressure. If you try to match that force head on, you lose. But if you survive the wave, it passes. It always passes. This is the truth. You do not fight the person. You fight the positions. You do not resist their weight. You move around it, through it, until the openings show. Every grip you place, every frame you build, is a question you force them to answer. And if you stay calm, if you breathe in the storm, their size becomes a disadvantage. They tire first, you spend last. Helio Gracie once said, "There is no losing in Jiu-Jitsu, you either win or you learn." And against bigger opponents, this is the foundation. You are here to learn in the storm, to see that the wait is not the end, but the beginning. Every round becomes a story of patience, a story of pressure, a story of persistence. The first surge may feel like drowning, but each breath you take, each frame you place is a reminder. Size is temporary, skill lasts. If this first part gave you something real, I go deeper on my Patreon, where I keep full guides with structured plans, study notes, and even personal breakdowns of your training rounds, whether in competition or the gym. The links are in the description, and right now let's keep going. Because once the surge fades, the question becomes clear. How do you bring them down? They tower higher, their hands heavy on your head, their shoulders thick and unyielding. Every grip feels like it weighs twice as much as it should, and if you shoot blindly, you meet a wall. So you begin where leverage lives, the hands. Hand fighting is the steering wheel of takedowns, the fight before the fight. You win inside ties, you peel their hands off your head, you break collar ties with a post, a pull, and a circle. Your forehead presses under their chin, never above it. You control the inside lines before a single shot is taken. This is how you guide size, not with strength, but with position. From there, the single leg is your safest weapon. You do not need to lift. You do not need to outmuscle. You let them push into you, you redirect, you collect. Your head stays high, your eyes level. Your grip, locked gable tight at the knee. Your base, stable, alive, ready to move. And when the moment comes, you do not crash forward. You do not force. You circle, you run the pipe, and the mat takes their weight. But not every entry lands. Sometimes their weight cuts sharper, sometimes they drive harder. That is when the second path opens. The boot scoot, the seat switch. You plant your hand, you sit just off their line, you shrug the elbow past it, you turn the corner. If you miss, you reset with a hip heist. If you hit, you climb to the back, and the back is the great equalizer. Here, size no longer matters. Here, control is yours. Here, it is their turn to survive. But once they fall, the battle changes shape, because now, it is not about how you take them down. It is about how you keep them from smothering you once you land. It is about keeping your hips free. It is about keeping your frames alive. It is about protecting the distance. Distance is survival. Frames are life. 4 points of contact, hands, elbows, knees, feet, each one alive, each one speaking for you when strength cannot. Your hips must float free, your feet must stay active. Your body is never silent. It is always answering pressure with shape. Knee shield, butterfly hooks. These are not just guards. They are breathing room. They are the walls that keep weight from flattening you. Feel their head post forward. Slide your elbow inside. Frame against the collarbone. Escape your hips before the grip breaks. The mat is not your cage. It is your canvas. And when you move, their weight follows shadows, never substance. But even the best frames crack. And when they do, you must know how to reset. This is the art of retention. A bigger opponent wants nothing more than to anchor on your hips. If they lock an ankle, if they trap a knee, the weight multiplies, their pressure doubles, their control sharpens. So you stay one step ahead. You hide your ankles, you pummel them free. You keep your legs alive like vines wrapping, never letting them pin your roots to the mat. When the pressure grows, you do not panic. You invert. Not wild, not reckless. A shallow inversion. Just enough to reset your hips, just enough to buy time. It is not a spin show. It is survival with purpose. And when side control clamps down, when their chest crushes across your ribs, it feels like being pinned beneath stone. But even here, escape is alive. You turn to running man, your elbows tight, your knees tucked, your hips sliding away. From here you build the guard again. From here you recover. From here you rise back to sweep or to stand. Remember this. Arm locks and triangles straight on will fold under the weight of a heavy stack. Against size, you chase angles first. You chase sweeps first. You chase the back before you chase the arm. Frames are promises, clamps are decisions. And against a bigger frame, you always keep your promises. If you are still here, you are clearly dedicated. On my Patreon, I have built guides, structured plans, and study notes, plus personal breakdowns of your matches and training sessions. The links are in the description, and for now, let's keep moving. Because once you have survived and reset, you do not simply hold, you do not freeze, you off balance, you sweep. This is where size begins to stumble. Butterfly guard. Your hooks lift as their weight shifts. The moment they lean, you tilt. Shin to shin, your frames connect low, their post is stolen, their balance breaks, technical stand-up, your escape route when the pressure grows too thick, your bridge from bottom to neutral. Pressure nudges are small, but they cut deep. You let them lean forward, you shift your hips, you slip just offline, and suddenly their mass turns clumsy, their balance becomes your tool. Remember this. If your hips win, everything gets easy. And once the sweep lands, the ground changes. Now you are above, now you are heavy, now you must learn to control without exhausting yourself. Because against a heavier body, top control must scale. It cannot be built only on squeeze, it must be built on flow. Control is not squeezing, control is floating. It is staying heavy without becoming stiff. It is riding their energy until they wear themselves out. Your toes stay alive. Your hips press just enough to smother, never enough to trap yourself. When the arm underhook slips away, you do not freeze. You underhook the far leg instead, weaving a new anchor. When their elbow rises to frame, you float to north-south. You glide across their chest, your weight like water spilling from one side to the other. They push, but nothing stays fixed long enough for them to build strength. Switch sides often. Let them chase shadows. Let them waste energy trying to follow. Feel your chest slide across theirs. Their breath sharp at first, then shorter, then shallow. Each second you stay light but heavy, their gas fades. Every move is small for you, but it drains them more than it drains you. And when the moment feels right, you climb the ladder of finishes. Back first, legs second, everything else last. Against size, not all finishes are equal. There is an order, a ladder. The back comes first, the choke that slips under the chin, hands hidden, elbows closing like doors, the kind of control where their strength cannot reach you. The legs come next, entanglements with precision, angles sharp, grips tight, safety always your first concern, because a heavy opponent thrashes hard, control matters more than speed. Then comes the rest. Guillotines when posture breaks and the neck bends forward, omoplatas when shoulders open and you need both control and attack, arm locks and triangles only when the angle is truly yours, because straight attacks into size mean getting stacked. Position makes power cheap, and finishing from position makes victory light. This is the finishing ladder, step by step, back, legs, then everything else. But remember, finishers do not live alone. They live in chains, and the best chains are born from movement. Think not in moves, but in links. Every grip, every shift, every step connects to the next. Inside tie, snap, post, the single leg, run the pipe, back take as they turn. Each part alone is fragile. Together it is a chain. Together it is a story that always ends behind their shoulders. Pressure nudge, boot scoot, thigh pry, seatbelt, short choke, hand fight. The sequence unfolds not because you force it, but because you allow it, because you guide their weight down the path you prepared. Knee shield, ankle pummel, butterfly off balance, shin to shin, technical stand-up. From the smallest lift, the heaviest body falls. From the smallest tilt, the widest base collapses. Each chain tells a story. One move forces two of theirs. One decision multiplies your options. This is how you guide giants into traps. And behind these chains lies something larger. The framework for every round. The map that smaller grapplers carry like a compass. The path is simple: survive, manage distance, off balance, sweep, pass, isolate back or leg, finish. Early in the round, you survive. You build the frames, you weather the storm. In the middle, you create imbalance. You draw them into space, you make them stumble. At the end, you convert, you climb the ladder, you finish. As Musashi said, you must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. But for the smaller grappler, this path, from survival to control to finish, is the surest way upward. And when the round ends, the lesson remains. Size fades, skill compounds. Skill does not measure in pounds, it measures in persistence. Every frame, every escape, every chain is a stone. Laid one after another, they build a path where weight cannot follow. As Jigoro Kano said, it is not important to be better than someone else, but to be better than yesterday's self. Against bigger opponents, that is the real victory. You finish the round stronger, you finish the round smarter, and tomorrow you begin again. To go deeper, my Patreon is where I keep the complete guides, structured plans and study notes I use myself, along with personal breakdowns of your training or competition footage. You will find the links in the description, and YouTube thinks you will like the next video, it is right here on the screen. I will see you there.